Welcome to The Mediators.
Mediators.
There's been a lot going on since we last talked about a movie.
Couple things.
So we've seen,
Here and
all right,
there.
since Uncharted, we've seen, what was it? Everything,
Everywhere all at once.
Everywhere All at Once.
Batman.
The Northman.
The Northman.
Northman.
The bad guys.
Bad Guys, that was a fun one.
Did you say Batman? I said Batman.
He said Batman.
The Batman. What else? Is that it?
I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive
You
Talent.
saw it?
I did see it.
Oh, you didn't say that.
And I saw Ambulance. And
Ambulance.
Ambulance, and I think that's about it. I'm gonna go see Sonic probably this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
I've heard it's all right.
yeah, it's be fun.
Sonic.
So we'll quickly just go through the other movies real fast, and we'll talk about what we're really talking about today, which is
Orange Box.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, if you're just listening, it's the collectible popcorn bucket from the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
It's got the runes and stuff on the side.
It is pretty cool.
It is. It's nice.
It was $25. Like, why not?
Not half-back quality.
Yeah, not
No.
terrible. So,
I wouldn't put my popcorn in it.
no,
Make it
yeah.
dirty. But
Like they offered, they're like, "Hey, if we can just give you a bag and we'll keep this unopened," and I was like, "Yeah, let's do that."
Yeah.
I don't want the grease all over it, the butter.
Gross.
And, no thanks.
full of ants.
So yeah, we'll start off, I guess, just in the order that
Okay, that we saw.
we saw
Kind of.
all the movies.
Yeah.
So start off with the Batman.
Okay.
What did you think of the Batman?
I like the Batman. I like the Batman a lot.
Would you call this the
Yes.
best DC movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
What?
well, I'm gonna go higher. Is this the
Yes.
best comic book movie?
No, Spider-Verse.
Ooh. All right.
I think it's the best live-action comic book movie.
Whoa, better than the Phantom? Or no, the Green Hornet. I'm trying to think of really bad
The
ones.
Phantom.
That was like the
Oh,
was it the
Green
purple
Hornet's a
Phantom?
close one. I'd have to. I gotta give it the edge, just a little bit.
All right, I can see it. I mean, I liked it. I did say that the Riddler was overrated, and I kind of stand by that. I mean, or it was just like, okay, it's the Riddler, right? I think they played a little bit too much into the maybe the QAnon type thing, is what I felt like. I don't know. I felt like they could have done a little bit better with the character.
I don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
I mean, I think instead of having him, I don't know.
I think it was a perfect modern adaptation
And this might
for
just
the
speak
Riddler.
more to me, but I was like, I kind of wish he was a little bit more, riddly. Like, he just did the bombs. It was basically like Joker in The Dark Knight, but with like riddles. Instead of like a different type of character, it just felt like a copy of it to me.
Nope.
He's like,
No.
okay, he's a mastermind. Everything works out perfectly, exactly how he would want it to go. Like,
With clues leading to it.
sure,
So he could have solved it.
but at the same time, it felt like really. I think anytime you get like a big like mastermind thing, it's like, yeah, but everything had to go exactly how the screenwriters would have to put it for it to work in real life, type of a thing.
No.
What do you mean no?
He literally set everything up, and he did it. He didn't rely on anybody else except until the very end when he brought Falcone out into the light. That's it.
Okay. That's another. Okay, speaking of the end, that also made me. I was like, so his whole plan was to flood Gotham, right?
Yeah. So they could put everyone in the little middle area and then shoot them.
So, and his whole thing was, and I think that maybe it was just the hypocrisy of his character, was that he was like, standing up for the little guy, against corporations, and then he floods like the entire city, and like probably a lot of poor people died.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and he does that just like, so he floods it just to kill like the politicians and all the people there for it.
Yeah.
But he
A
killed
worthy
everything else. I was
sacrifice.
just like, but I'm like, what was the next plan? What was the next phase of this?
That was it. That's all he needed to do.
All he needed to do, I guess. All right. This
What's
is
the
magnum
word?
opus.
Rip out the corruption.
Ah, man. I felt like it was. I felt like it had a lot of the elements that you see in like a more of a campy movie with the amount of like planning that's involved, but none of the camp, if that makes sense. Which is good. In this case, you wouldn't want it to be too campy, but at the same time, it's like,
There's definitely some camp. What are you talking about?
wait, which part?
The Riddler.
Like when he was singing the Ave Maria thing?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then the stream, the video,
Yeah, okay.
and his pictures of just his smiling face.
That's another thing
hung
that
up.
reminded me of The Dark Knight. Because remember, the Joker does that.
I don't
He
remember.
has the whole thing about he's like Batman coming out. Remember, he's like beating up the guy in the hockey pads and everything.
I don't remember.
Okay, well that does happen. It felt very similar to the Joker, and I felt like it was almost like the Joker, but with with riddles. It just felt weird to me. So that was my thought. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Next movie.
Everything Everywhere All at Once? Was
Great
that
movie.
next?
I would recommend it except for one thing: the fingers,
The
the
hot
hot
dog
dog
fingers.
fingers. I cannot get over
Crap,
it.
it's nasty. They had the weird sound effects. Ew.
It was a great movie, though.
It was really good.
They all seriously it was fantastic.
I loved
all
the
around.
humor in it.
It was great.
It was really good. It was, yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. We don't want to spoil anything. I think it's probably the best multiverse movie.
I was
besides,
about to say, I think
Spider-Verse.
this is well, okay.
I'd have to put Spider-Verse first. Spider-Man is probably my number one movie of all time, so we'll leave it at that. It's probably
Spider-Verse
it's
is
the
the
best.
number one movie. All
Yeah.
time? Okay, I think
It's
Spider-Man.
the best live-action multiverse movie ever.
Yeah, which is crazy
Easily.
because we've had so many multiverse movies lately. I was reading. Okay, so I was listening to
Yeah,
somebody was talking
yeah,
about like
yeah.
the psychology behind it. Is like people were all like, the pandemic hit, and people are like, "Oh man, if it hadn't happened, where would I be at in my life right now?" And that's what they're saying. The psychological inspiration is coming from all
you
these
could say
multiverse
that.
movies.
Yeah,
It's like,
movies, but like the comics have been doing that for forever.
oh, that's true.
But you
But I'm
could say
saying
that.
we're seeing a huge
Mainstream.
in movies. Now, again, two of them are comic book movies.
Well, yeah, but they're not comic book movies.
And then-
they're mainstream movies.
Yeah, they are. So
But-
I just thought it was interesting. But yeah,
that's a
that
good
one
thought.
definitely was a
Interesting.
better multiverse movie all
Oh
around.
yeah. Yeah.
It was fun from beginning to end, and it was great. Good, emotional, heart.
Give me a number.
Probably do an 8.
Wow, it's pretty low.
That's pretty high for me.
Give it a 9, possibly a 10.
I would probably have a 9 if it wasn't for the hot dogs.
Hot dog fingers take a point out.
I'm
That's true.
being dead serious. That took off a whole point for me.
I thought it was really good.
If I watch it again, I will fast forward through those parts. Definitely.
Yeah, it's weird.
Or just cover my eyes or something, knowing what's coming at this time.
In your ears. Don't have to hear the weird
Because I'm
sound
just picturing
effects.
right now, I can see it in my head.
Yeah,
The TV with the actors, the movie that she's watching, with the hot dog and the ketchup and the mustard.
yeah. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on.
All right,
So,
next movie.
Northman.
Northman.
Speaking of weird
Good movie.
stuff,
Good movie.
I was surprised
Yeah.
by how much fun it was. Like, it was
Yeah.
interesting. Like, it didn't feel like
It
as
wasn't
much of
like
an artsy movie.
you're gonna be sad because everything's sad. It was sad. It was like it was
It's a-
dreary.
Yeah.
But there was funny parts in it too.
Yeah, and it
And
like
it was good.
it followed along enough. It almost felt like an American movie. It didn't feel like a weird foreign type thing where it was like the story structure was completely different. That's what I mean by weird.
Yeah.
But it That's
fair.
followed along pretty
It was
straightforward.
yeah.
But it wasn't like your typical like, oh, okay, the bad guy's gonna do this and the good guy's gonna do this and then this happens and this happens.
Yeah.
It was like, of course, I mean the ending was a little predictable, but
Yeah. I mean, okay, so this is known, but it's actually the story that Hamlet is based off of.
yeah, it was just
Because
interesting. I was watching
his
it,
name
I'm
is
like,
Amleth, and you take the H and you put it at the front, and it's just Hamlet. I saw someone comment that. I was like, yeah. It's literally.
I didn't even
Amleth,
think about that. But I remember we were
yeah,
watching it, and I'm like, this reminds me of him. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, spoiler for
Uncle.
the Northman.
It's not a spoiler.
I'm,
It's in the trailer.
No, I'm talking about something else.
Oh, okay.
It's
Go
a
ahead.
spoiler for the movie, but I'm watching it, and I'm like, the mom's definitely going to be a bad guy.
Oh,
She's in
yeah,
on
yeah.
this whole conspiracy to kill
Yeah,
the dad.
he called it at the beginning because at the very beginning, she like runs into he runs into the room with her, and she's really mad at him. She's about
She's
to
about
hit
to
him.
hit him, and she
And
goes and she
he was like,
stops.
Whoa, that was weird. I thought it was kind of weird too, but I didn't expect it to be.
No, that was like a red flag for me. I'm like,
Later
all right,
on.
yeah, she hates her life. My whole thing is, all right, she hates her life. And as soon as the dad dies, I'm like, yeah, she's in on this.
Yeah.
She's got to be it.
Yeah.
Again, I was thinking Hamlet because there's like the uncle and the whole thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's very similar, but
Yeah.
it was different enough, and it felt like a compelling story enough that I was
Yeah.
like, it didn't feel like a carbon copy.
No, yeah. It looked great too. It was a really good looking
It was. It was really good. Oscars, look out.
movie. But if you don't expect what you're expecting to go in, It's weird.
It's very there's
Like,
a lot
if
of
you
weird
know
stuff.
the director's previous movies and you know how weird those are, you'll expect it, and then
Yes.
it'll be welcome
All
instead
like
of
the
like in your
gods
face.
and like magic stuff is
Oh yeah,
weird.
and then like the body horror stuff.
The body horror stuff was weird.
But if you expect it, it's alright. It's alright.
I think I
That's
knew what I
pretty
was
good.
gonna get as soon as like they crawled into that hole and started barking like dogs. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
That was
I
the very
figured.
first indication right there.
This was weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew, first off, because it said who the director was.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then I knew because it had that weird shot of Willem Dafoe in the firelight. I was like, oh, all right, it's one of those movies.
It was still good. Like I said,
It was
I liked
good,
it much
yeah.
better than
It's
Lighthouse.
more,
Much
like,
better.
I hate saying it, mainstream again.
Yeah.
It's more mainstream than I think any of his other stuff.
But in a good way.
No, in a good
like,
way. It's more accessible.
Yeah, it's like it was more enjoyable to watch, and I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I didn't feel dirty after
It
the
didn't
movie
feel like a
ended.
fever dream. It
That's
felt like
it,
you could
yeah.
kind of track with everything.
My brain was able to like comprehend what I was
Yeah,
watching.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's. A
I
good
wouldn't
thing.
mind seeing it again.
I would.
I wouldn't
I
mind
would.
seeing
You
it.
know, that sometimes for me, like, okay, I just like watching it for the story. And once the story's over, I'm like, all right, I don't need to watch it again. I might watch that again. Maybe if it's just like, oh, it's there.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't be like, oh, I got to go get this movie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What do you think?
I'm gonna do like a 7.
Yeah, I was thinking a 7 too.
It was good.
It's got good stuff.
Yeah.
Gross stuff. Not really any bad stuff though.
No, like the body horror stuff was pretty gross.
Yeah, but it's not like bad. You know.
The guy hanging upside down with
Well,
the,
yeah, no,
the
that's
lady.
fine.
Yeah,
But
it was
it's not
gross.
like bad.
I was grossed out a little
It
bit.
was
But
gross, but it wasn't like bad.
okay, all
Interesting.
right, it wasn't
All
bad.
right.
Bad
Yeah,
guys?
7. Bad guys.
Bad guys.
Bad guys.
This is a 10.
Fun.
This is a 10.
Yeah, straight up.
Maybe
Straight up.
not, but
No.
I liked it a lot.
It was really fun.
It was my style of a movie.
Yeah.
It was like the animation looked great.
Animation was beautiful.
The voice acting was fun. The story kind of kept you guessing.
It
a little
was.
bit.
Yeah. It was.
For like a heist
Yeah.
movie, it was like, okay, there's a lot of tropes of heist movies
Yeah.
in there,
Yeah.
but it felt like
It was
It
kind
was
of
fun.
fresh.
it did feel fresh.
It was
to me.
good. It was good. It was a good movie. Go
It was-
see it, man. Go see it.
I liked it a lot.
Well,
So I would
it
give
needs
that
some money.
one.
Let them make a sequel or something. They don't have to make a sequel, but let them keep doing stuff like that.
I need to watch it again really to get, but like my
Yeah.
first impression, I'm gonna give it like an 8.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
I give it 8,
The
8.5.
I think the opening is like one of the strongest movie
Dude.
openings I've seen.
I
in a
love the
long
opening.
time.
It was my favorite part of the movie. Like the first
5
5,
minutes?
10 minutes maybe in between there. Oh, so good.
Very strong.
Yeah.
You introduce
And
all the
yeah,
characters,
you get the whole feel for how the whole rest of the movie is
Yeah.
gonna be. That's all
which
you
is
need.
how good the opening is, and it was fun and it was fast and it was just like your brain was just like
You were wired in from
higher.
the
Yeah,
very
it was
beginning.
like, insane.
It's beautiful.
Loved it. All right,
Alright, what
so
was next?
have we seen anything else?
Northman, bad guy.
I did talk about the Nick Cage movie.
Oh yeah, I want to hear what do you think of the
Okay,
Nick
so
Cage?
it was
Nick Cage?
really good up until it went too meta.
Mm.
So
Is it just
do you want
meta?
me to tell you a little bit about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not-
Spoilers for
Spoilers for the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
yeah. If
think
it can be
it's-
spoiled, I'm assuming it can.
So-
I haven't seen it yet.
I also thought it was interesting. Nick Cage didn't even want to play it. He wanted
Really?
somebody else to play Nick Cage, and the people were like, "No, we want you to play Nick Cage." And until he was the director, wrote a letter to him, he wasn't going to do it.
Wow.
So he plays a different version of himself. It's not him.
Right.
It's in fact they even do this. They spell his name differently in the movie.
How do you spell the
So
name?
his
normally?
nickname is Nick.
Yeah.
In real life, it's Nick. In the movie, it's Nick.
Okay.
So
All right.
that he differentiates himself. It's cool. So I liked it. It was like he's a down on his luck actor because of money problems, which tracks on.
Okay.
I thought one thing was funny. He didn't have as many tattoos because he's only been married like once in the movie, and so that's what he said in an interview. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't have all my tattoos because my character hasn't been married as many times as I have."
Dang.
But an out of touch father, estranged wife, that whole thing. He's kind of down on his luck. He's like about to quit acting, and he gets a call from this like really rich guy. He's like, who wants him to come out for a birthday thing. He's gonna give him like $1 million, and his agent's like Neil Patrick Harris is his agent. He's like, I want you.
That's
You need
fun.
to do this type of a thing. It was good. He also sees like a younger version of himself, like Little Nicky is what it is.
Okay.
And it's him, and he's wild. I wish we'd seen more of him because it was kind of funny.
How younger?
Like CGI'd, younger.
Teen?
No, like
Adult?
shortly before his prime.
How old is that?
I think Con Air. and
How
younger
old
than
is that? 20s? 30s?
Probably like his early 30s.
Okay.
Early, would be my guess. and I could be wrong on that, but that's what I was picking up from it.
Okay.
And then it kind of he meets Pedro Pascal named Jaime. No, Jaime. What's his name? Javi.
Javi.
Javi. It was fun. They were great together. They had great chemistry. He's a Nick Cage super fan.
Yeah.
And so he's like, and then the CIA recruits Nick Cage to spy on him because he's
like
actually
a drug lord or something.
he's a drug lord, which you find out he's not really. So again, spoilers. So yeah, and so they build this whole friendship off of it and everything, and then there's like a kidnapped girl and everything, and that's when it went off the rails for me. So in the movie, Javi wants to write a movie with Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And they're like talking about having it be like a really, emotional about the cage.
Well, is this the movie that they wrote?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, it is. It's very meta, and it's like all about the characters and the relationships. And then the CIA is like, "Hey, we need to find this girl." He's like, well, "Why don't we throw in a kidnapping subplot?" And that's that moment right there when they threw in the kidnapping subplot derailed the movie for me.
Okay.
I felt at that point it became very much of like a typical like action type movie, like where they're doing some crazy antics to go find the girl, and there's a lot of shootouts and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And it got boring at that point for me.
Okay.
And it's not like they added like at the very beginning you see the girl get kidnapped, so it's the whole. But like at that point when they're like, hey, that's what this movie's going to be about now, I lost my interest for it because we lost a lot of that craziness that Nicolas Cage brings, in my opinion. The ending was interesting though because. Like, they had the big showdown, whatever. They're going to go, they get the girl. They're on the run from the drug lords. And he, like, stabs the bad guy. But when he pops back up, it's the movie. So the mom has been replaced with a different actress, and the daughter has, and everything. And because it combines the real life with the movie.
And here's with the movie. Okay.
And it was very weird. So I liked that. I liked it. But,
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so the moment it lost its quirkiness, I was like, I lost interest in it.
Okay.
So that was my take on it. I'd give it like a 6, maybe. It didn't lean hard enough into the Nick Cage stuff.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think they could have gone way more into it.
Huh. All right.
My thought.
Okay.
And then Ambulance was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave it at that.
Man, Jake Gyllenhaal. He's had a pretty good track record, but I feel like in the most recent
he's the
years,
best thing of any movie I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, but what? Well, he hasn't seen him in that many movies.
Okay, I know. I'm talking about so Spider-Man and Ambulance.
Yeah.
Even though those movies weren't great, he's
the
amazing.
best part, but like
hilarious.
like with projects that he picks.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's kind of not gone downhill, but gone like a little less, not artsy, but like serious.
Maybe he's just I don't know.
Which is fine. He
pick
can
movies
do
to
whatever
make money
he
and
wants.
then do other things.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
he
it
makes
feels
money
like
on all of them, but
like he's one's a paycheck and then that kind of helps fund other things.
yeah, that's what they say. But yeah, because like he's done like a lot of like really good movies, like Oscar contenders and crap, and then he's in Spider-Man, and then he's in this Ambulance thing, a Michael Bay movie
so
of all
bad.
things.
It was like if you want to just turn off your brain and like just feel like an adrenaline rush for 2 hours, yeah, sure, watch it. It's like, but if you had to think about it or like, but how does that connect with? Then you won't like the movie because it's very much like that. It's very much just. I felt like on the edge of my seat the whole movie. I was like, what's gonna happen next, type of a thing. But I also got really bored from that continual like.
Just staying at the same level kind of deal.
Basically. I mean, they had the dips and everything, but it did not feel like you dipped down at all.
Interesting. Okay.
So it was like it was like a 10 the whole movie. I'm just like, oh man. So it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good. Not in
All
a good
right.
way. All right. Let's talk about
Let's go to something that was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. I think this is a movie where the director's strengths really helped it.
Oh yeah, no, this is the
Yes.
perfect movie for the director, Mr. Sam
Sam Raimi.
Samuel Raimi.
Oh, I can't honestly. You hear somebody's name, and then you hear like the long version of it, and you're just like, oh, that doesn't feel
That's
right.
not right. That's not right.
Samuel. It's like
I was thinking Samuel L. Jackson. I was like,
yeah.
Sammy. People call him Sammy. Some
You
people
know, I
do.
think like Robert Downey Jr. If you call him like Bob.
Bob. Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
like,
That's so
it feels weird.
He's not Bob. We don't know him, but he's not Bob. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. I saw some people call it the Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse of Madness because it was very much her movie.
She was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, spoilers?
Oh yeah.
Do we want to do no spoilers first?
Let's talk about no spoilers for a little
no
bit.
spoilers.
Because
it's fun. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Very Sam Raimi, campy kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think they have a lot. Again, they play a lot from his strengths in this movie. Yeah.
It's not like his movie. Like I saw an interview where he was like, "Yeah, I was just kind of doing what they were saying, but in my style." Like he's like, "This isn't really my own type of movie." Type thing.
You could tell.
Yeah.
The story was not the best.
No, it was very.
But the directing and the style was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like I've said this before, but I think it's like the most bold visually, Marvel movie I've seen. And I'm not talking about just like, oh wow, this is beautiful. I'm talking about just like the choices that the camera's making and the stuff that's happening on screen. I'm like, this is insane.
Like I can't imagine some of those shots happening in any other movie.
Visually, really good.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's a couple shots that are a little bit
when he was getting drugged.
Yeah, when Doctor Strange's getting drugged. There's like they do like the
like the whole thing's like it's like tilting
like
back and forth. It feels like a very
I don't think they would do that in anything else. Like in Iron Man 1 when he's the little that thing, where he's
what
his
the
Obadiah Stane's doing the thing to him.
Hey, spoilers, man, spoilers.
Oh, sorry guys, sorry. It's like if they did that in any other thing, they would just make the screen blurry or whatever, have him stumble around a little bit, and the shot would probably just be static the whole time. It wouldn't do any of that.
It's like early 2000s effect.
Yeah, it's very Raimi. It's Raimi.
Yeah, he definitely has like an old school style to it, but it still works.
Yeah, it works because he knows what he's doing with it and why he's doing it, and like what it's for, instead of just kind of like let's just throw the shot in, it'll look cool or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, I think there were 3 characters that had really not good, but like they had a full character arc.
Or not visible, but like you could. Visible arcs, I guess. I don't know.
And they were fine. Like I'm happy with that.
Like from the beginning of the movie to the end, this person has changed.
Yeah.
Who are those 3? I can think of. Stop! Don't say it.
Okay.
2, 3.
2.
No, okay. I can think of 3. No, 2. 3 maybe 2. Who are your 3?
All right, America.
Yeah.
Chavez.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. Okay. And Wanda Maximoff.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Who else?
That's fair. I don't know.
Those are the only 3 people
but I'm like,
in the beginning to the end.
Did she?
Who?
Wanda.
Yeah, absolutely. That was her whole thing. Did she? Absolutely. It literally went. She was one way at the beginning, and then she was another way at the end. It had the whole thing.
I don't know. I think it was. Okay, let's get to that later.
Yeah, because
good movie.
Spoilers.
It didn't go as multiversey as I thought it would. Like we only went to 2.
Say that again.
It didn't go as multiverse-y as I thought.
That was disappointing. I
we went to like 2 different universes, right?
Yeah.
One is a different one that spoilery. The other one is just another one with Doctor Strange, his own self.
Yeah.
Where that Doctor Strange caused an incursion and it collides 2 universes, and it's just that Doctor Strange, and he's a bad guy. And it's just, we only do that. We don't go through, we don't do multiple jumps.
There was a
multiverse of madness.
It was like, a couple different universes.
It was like, let's go over here.
2.
All right, let's spend some time here. Let's go to another one. And we're back into our main one instead of...
Besides that one part where they're literally crashing through all the universes, which was probably the best... The whole movie.
I think it's my favorite sequence in the movie for sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Here's how I think of it. It's like we have a room. This is the movie. Then we have a hallway. Then we have another room. And other movies are like, let's go outside. This is all just in a house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that's how I felt about Encanto.
Okay, sure. I don't care about Encanto. So why are you bringing that up?
Because I thought the whole movie was gonna okay. So, your hero's journey, like, they go off and they try to solve a problem. Well, she does that. She gets ready, dressed up, and then, boom, she just
leave.
And she never leaves. They never leave the house.
That's how it kind of felt. They don't leave the house in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
they go from a room to a different room. Yeah. And that transition scene where they go through the different... It's just going down the hallway.
The hallway was cool, though.
It was really cool. It was a really cool hallway. Lots of cool pictures on the sides and stuff. But you're not opening any of the other doors, and you're not going outside. Not a complaint. It's just like, this is what I was expecting, and this is what happened.
I will say this though. People were like talking about how you needed to watch the last episode of Loki to like really get this movie.
Nope.
I did not feel that way at all.
I don't think you needed to watch anything.
You needed to watch WandaVision.
You didn't need to.
It definitely explained a lot of the character choices.
Yeah, but you didn't need to. You can clearly see why this is happening. It's all right. We're getting into spoiler territory. Whatever.
All right, okay. This is the threshold. We're crossing it now.
Okay, so America Chavez is getting chased by demons, and they look on the creatures, and they're like, "Ah, those are witchcraft runes." And then Wong's like, "Do you know anyone who knows witchcraft?" And Stranger's like, "Yes, I do." Then we cut to Wanda with her tucking her kids into bed at night, and they're like, "Oh, happy," and then boom, she wakes up alone by herself. That's pretty obvious.
Well, you don't know who the kids are.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to know who the kids are. They're her kids.
But how does she have kids?
Doesn't matter.
The last time we see her in a movie is Endgame.
Who cares?
It's just a huge
You don't need context for any of
context.
This. You could watch this movie by itself and understand what's happening.
If you can suspend your disbelief.
We're suspending our disbelief for everything.
But this is a pretty big suspension at this point for me. If you don't know who the kids are.
You don't need to know who the kids are. They're her kids.
Then why? Okay, it's like, why doesn't she have her kids? Like, there's a bunch of questions if you don't watch WandaVision. I see.
You don't need to ask them though. They're not being asked. They're like, oh, she doesn't have her kids. That's all you need to know. You can ask why. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have her kids. That's it.
Where did the kids come from?
Who cares?
Like, who is she with? Because Vision was her last romantic interest, and he's a robot.
And now no one's there. That's it.
And yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, there's a lot of questions that get raised up if you don't know.
I wasn't asked these questions by my friends who haven't seen anything, so they completely understood what was happening in the movie.
All right,
it's very obvious.
I'm just saying, it's just.
Oh, she woke up alone. All the color's gone in her house.
Yeah,
it's dark. Something's wrong. She doesn't have kids or a family. She's alone. It's very obvious what's happening. Doctor Strange shows up, and then it's a Hex. She's like clipping apple clippings. She's like, oh, it smells, and she's like, sweet. It's like real, and then they talk whatever, and she mentions the girl's name. He doesn't mention her name, and he's like, I think he kind of knew already though.
Yeah, because he said it smells real.
No, I think he knew before that.
Like,
who else does witchcraft there? They don't know anyone else besides her.
Yeah.
And they know she has multiverse powers, so they're like, And then she reveals the whole place is like a barren waste. Where is this?
I don't know, some random out in the middle of nowhere place.
I guess. It's just hilarious. It's like a giant red moon or sun or whatever, and the whole place is all like just barren wasteland. I'm like, what is happening? She
distorts reality around her.
Yeah, but then why would she go to a different reality?
Well,
if she's revealing the true place, is this a real place or is this another reality that she created?
That's a good question. I thought it
was funny.
And that's what I'm like, because I felt like it was almost like an Infinity Stone, because the Reality Stone's red.
Sure.
That's her
powers, technically.
And and so I was like, the whole thing just felt like, it honestly felt like when Thanos like wiped away and everything turned red when he was like, transitioning.
Yeah, but that's because the place was blowing up.
Well, yeah.
But
kind of.
Then he's like, oh, she wants America Chavez because she can travel through the multiverse. She wants to take her powers, which we see in the beginning would kill her. Because in the beginning, there's a different Doctor Strange that
he's like
is multiverse.
Supreme Strange or something like that.
Oh, yeah, sure, why not? He's got a ponytail, that's all that matters.
And yeah.
And they speak Spanish every once in a while. And then he gets killed by some crazy monster that Wanda sent.
Yeah, you find out that Wanda's been sending it.
Yeah.
Because that was the mercy to send these monsters instead of her going.
Sure, I guess.
Well, we kind of see.
Why does it matter? If she's just gonna go over there and grab her anyways, she grabs them in this once again spoilers in Earth 972 whatever universe
616
not 616 that's the normal one 839
838
whatever 838 doesn't matter, but she goes there and she just grabs her and she uses her power, throws her back into her universe. Why don't you just do that from the beginning?
I think she did not want to have to get involved personally, because as soon as she did, like, everybody was dying.
I guess.
Everybody died.
Yeah, she's killed. This is another thing. It doesn't make sense. She's like, I'm not a monster or whatever, and she's literally just killing people.
Well, because in the beginning she says, she's like, I will. It's just like, unless you do what I say, I'm like extending you the mercy. Do what I say, or else everybody's gonna die.
But she's still trying to act like she's not a monster for doing that.
Because, well, okay, in the dark hole and all that stuff. But basically, in her mind, she's getting rid of the people that are in her way. It's not her fault.
But it is.
But it is.
It is. But I mean,
but
it's
at the
just
same
like,
time,
if she's being corrupted, why is she trying to act like she's not? You know, if she's corrupted. The dark hole corrupts every user it touches, whatever.
Yeah, anybody who uses it.
And she's very clearly evil. Like, just go with it, bro.
Yeah.
You don't care about these people that you're killing.
Yeah.
Why act like you do? And she's like, oh, I'm not a monster.
I feel like she does when she kind of like snaps out of it a little bit.
I guess. You know what I wanted?
What?
I wanted her to kill her kids at the end on accident. That's how I wanted her to realize that she's gone too far.
Yeah, that would have been something.
Instead of just them being scared of her. Like, she knows there's multiverses. Just go to a different universe. I didn't like that character. Well, not motivation, but like
I wonder if she could have found a different universe where she died, and then she could just take those kids.
I guess. But then there's a whole lot of tomfoolery involved that just, there's no logic for it.
Yeah.
You can't. She's crazy. It makes sense. Because the dark hole made her crazy, but not really. But it did. She was crazy beforehand.
She was.
But then she's even crazier with this. Evil crazy. Not
Evil
just
crazy,
like,
yeah.
I want to be happy crazy.
I guess.
Speaking of, are you happy? Wanting to be happy?
Oh, that was a big theme.
Doctor Strange. He has this nice little character arc. You want to take that away for us?
Sure. I'm actually really enjoying listening to you talk about this. But
I like this movie. I've seen it twice.
Okay. Rub it in. Yeah, his whole thing. Okay, so Doctor Strange, in the first movie, he like loses everything.
Yeah.
And he pushes people away. It's not like he just got taken away from him. No, he pushes people away.
Very, like, intentionally.
And we find that he's kind of very like aloof. Even like the Avengers stuff, he's very much like a surgeon. Like, he's matter of fact.
Yeah, it's like,
he's
if
like,
this is gonna save the multiverse,
nothing
I'll
gets
kill this
close
person.
to him. And this is the first time I think we really see him since the first Doctor Strange movie. Like,
vulnerable.
Yeah, yes, where he's just like, like we see his fears and his remorse and his regrets and all that stuff.
Sadness.
And then they ask him the question, "Are you happy?" And it's just like, because he goes to Christine's wedding in the beginning.
Yeah.
She's getting married to somebody else. And he's just, oh man, like you could tell the pain was on his face the entire time.
And he lies. He's like, yeah, I am happy. And then, which it comes out later when he's speaking to evil Doctor Strange.
Who did the same thing.
He's speaking his feelings out. He's like, we're not happy. I'm not happy. And I just want to go kill all the other Doctor Stranges. And then the real 616 Doctor Strange is like, huh. All right, can't let that happen to me, kind of deal.
Yeah, I think it was like a wake up call. Like, he needs to stop like denying.
He sees what
emotions.
He could become if he kept going on that path. Yeah,
yeah, and like I said, it was good.
It was a good one.
Like I said, he had a good arc. I think it was like, because like the whole thing that Christine was like, I could never be with you really because you always had to have the scalpel in your hand. You always had to be in control.
Yeah,
it was always about him. And we finally get to the end of this movie where he lets go of control and he lets somebody else save the multiverse.
America.
Yeah.
But I think she has, I think Wanda has the weakest arc.
Oh,
you can call it arc.
I think America has the weakest arc.
I don't think it's as weak
literally
as
her being scared and then not being scared.
Yeah, I don't think it's as weak as Wanda's.
I think Wanda had a good thing where she was like, she thinks she wants something so bad and then she realizes that to get it, the cost is too much and she lets it go and she sacrifices everything else. Because so in WandaVision, you find out that she was prophesied to be the being that would rule all the multiverses, and that's very much laid out here in this movie as well. And you just you see that she gives it up. She literally destroys the throne that she had and everything because she realizes that she doesn't want to be that person.
That's fine.
That's a decent arc in my opinion.
That's fine.
That's
a
good
more
arc.
Like, I want my kids. I've killed all these people to do this. Now I'm about to. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Okay. They did. Okay. I think there's a point where you have to kill yourself if you killed too many people, and she definitely they did.
This is another trope that I've seen people not like. I'm not a great fan of it either. Where instead of like getting redemption, you get your redemption, but then you die
immediately.
Instead of working for it and reparations type of deal. You're not. What is it? Han Solo in episode 9? Is that the episode with Ben Solo?
Oh,
Instead of actually trying to be a better father, he just dies.
Yeah. Is killing off characters like one of the worst things to do.
Yeah, Independence Day, where the dad just goes and dies, stuff like that. Where it's like instead of actually having a redemption arc, you're being now you're dead.
The heroic sacrifice, it's not that heroic.
It's boring
because you're not saving. She wasn't even saving anybody at that point.
No, she was just destroying the Darkhold, which whatever you could say because she destroys it in every other universe. Don't know how that works, but it does. That she's saving other people from it, but it's kind of like. The damage is done, my friend.
Yeah.
The damage is done. You've caused an incursion, apparently, in the after credit scene. We get Charlize Theron. I'm sure she's a comic book character. I don't know. She is.
I forget her name. She was somebody. Yeah, the end credit scene, that one. I liked it. So I've seen some people really like that one with Charlize, and then some people did not like the end one. Yeah. And some people like the end one and didn't like that one. And I'm like, I definitely like. Both fine. I like the last one a lot.
The last one's amazing. That's Bruce Campbell. Man, that's such a
Bruce Campbell. Oh yeah, people were getting mad that nobody was clapping when he made his cameo.
I don't think anyone would, besides like
Sam Raimi fans.
I'm like, would understand how big it is.
It was beautiful seeing him in it.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It was great.
There, you're gonna pay for that. He would be a really good Sully for Uncharted. Right now, he would still be a really good Sully.
I could see that. Give him a good mustache.
Yeah, it'd be good. America.
Man. I can't wait. I get it Friday. I pre-ordered Uncharted. We need to watch it with the director's commentary. Let's do that Saturday.
Fun. All right, let's do it. America. Yeah, yes. She definitely has also a weak arc. It's just scared to use powers. In my opinion,
it's not even a weak one. It's just like I think the best arcs was I like Wanda's arc, Doctor Strange's arc, and
Doctor Strange is way better than Wanda's. Way better.
Just disagree.
No, Wanda's is whatever. It's not that great. You can't have someone be corrupt, he's killing people on purpose, knowing you're doing bad, and then be like, "Oh no, I'm a good person, actually." No, you're already corrupt. Stop doing that. It's such a cop-out.
I feel like
Doctor Strange put in the work. He put in the hours. He took what was his. Whatever. He took what was ours. All right. It was more earned rather than just
a conscious decision. I get you.
That's why I think Doctor Strange had a better arc.
It was more physical. Sure.
Yeah. It was more, here's what you're doing. Here's why it's wrong. Here's how to fix it.
All right.
Or not here's how to fix it. Go fix it.
Go fix it.
And he does. And he's like, all right. He lets America, instead of trying to take her power, which is what Wong thought he should have done and what
everybody was like, hey, do this.
Yeah, Multiverse said. He was like, no. There is a different way. Yeah. Sets her free. It's like, you can do your power. He gave her the old pep talk. I would have
been very surprised if he had tried doing it. Because when she told him that other Doctor Strange betrayed him, he had this look of like utter like disgust or shock on his face. I was like, okay, yeah, he's definitely never gonna try to do this. I think that was the moment where he's like, he's gonna do everything he can to protect this kid. Yeah, that to me, I think was that moment for him.
He's a good guy. Good guy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is he's a good guy who's a big jerk, and he's a hard time caring for other people.
Yeah, he's got a lot of responsibility. He takes himself almost too seriously, where he has to do everything, and instead of just
because he's the best and he's the only one that can do it.
Yeah,
he has to hold the scalpel. That's it. I like that they took that theme from the first Doctor Strange and they carried that over. Yeah, because that was his big thing in the first one too. Was he had to learn to let go and change his expectations and everything, which was good. Yeah. So, so let's talk about America. Awesome.
What's wrong?
I'm gonna just make sure that we're still recording.
Oh, okay. Man,
I wanted to have a good stopping point.
Yeah.
All right, we're still going.
But
yeah, that's why I can leave it plugged up and it should just keep recording forever. But I can plug an HDMI into it and have a monitor screen on there so we can see it.
But yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, so America.
I know
every time they say we have to save America.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
America's in trouble. Oh, it is. You're right.
Wow.
I thought, I looked it up. She was like 15.
Insane.
She's really good for a 15-year-old. She was really good.
I was impressed, more or less, with it. I mean, she had still the same kid actor type, but it wasn't like Disney.
No,
kid actor. So it was good. It was decent. It felt more believable than I don't know, what's another movie with bad kid actors?
Birds of Prey.
Sure. Yeah.
That girl, Christine Kane.
Yeah, I've kind of
Cassandra
blocked
Cain?
that movie out of my head a little bit.
We don't need to get into that, but that's
It
another
wasn't
kid
terrible. I
actor.
just don't remember much of it.
She was good. She was really good. Powers. She can punch through the multiverse.
Yeah, that was cool. So she has like in her comic she has like super strength and flight as well. We don't really see that.
Oh, as well. No, we see the super strength.
We see the strength
when she punches. They're in a cage because in the other universe they get what's the word? Drugged, put in the cages.
Yep, they get imprisoned.
And
so that reality. So Christine is studying them because she's a scientist in this one.
Working for
the red hair
the
kind of threw me
Foundation. I did not like it. It did not look good.
It did not look great on her. It was like too red and like too dark red.
Yeah, it was like
unnatural.
Gross. Yeah, unnatural.
Yes, it looked like a bad wig.
It was a wig. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
So yeah, she punched. Like I noticed every power, besides obviously the multiverse one, it's star shaped. You know when they're fighting Gargantos at the beginning, and she stomps the brick on.
Well, yeah, no, that's her whole thing. Is all her things that star shaped.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I noticed that. It was like the stone is a star shape when it falls on the thing. Yeah, it's cool.
No, that's her thing.
Yeah, and she punches the glass and it makes a big star. Yeah, it's really fun.
I think. I mean, I'll be interested to see where we go with her from here. Do you think she'll get her own like series or movie?
I could see her getting her own TV show for sure.
Especially if depending on how Miss Marvel does, I think we'll see it. I don't know if she'd get her own movie though. There's rumor that Wanda's going to get her own movie. Which is kind of funny because it's getting like the Black Widow treatment. Because you only get the movie after they're dead.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead.
I see. Okay, and so it's kind of spoilers, but I don't really believe it. We've already been over spoilers, but yeah. So she crushes herself, and then the power kind of shoots out, and I thought that was supposed to be like your signifying thing that she died.
I guess, but
I didn't really feel like it.
Yeah, I feel
she's
like
too powerful.
Scarlet Witch is still alive. Maybe Wanda.
Oh, are we gonna get? Okay, so we're gonna do X-Men 2.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Clearly,
it won't be Wanda who comes after you. It'll be Scarlet
It's the Dark
Witch.
Phoenix.
Shut up! It's the same person, but people think they're two separate people, kind of deal. Where it's like,
I swear, if we get like the next movie and then Vision like dies immediately because they're making out and he like his life force gets sucked out, I'm gonna leave the theater. Because X-Men 3.
Yeah, whatever. Let's stop talking about that. Oh, speaking of X-Men.
This is the biggest part I think of the entire movie was the Illuminati.
Yeah, it was definitely treated as like the big thing.
I think it was really interesting. I think that was the most like whoa type of thing. Then like all the stuff that happened, like that's the most memorable stuff to me right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So we get you already said the Baxter Foundation. And we get introduced to the Illuminati made of Mordo.
Yeah, Mordo. The bad guy from Doctor Strange 1
which I saw people were complaining that like we didn't get anything after he had that end credit scene in the first Doctor Strange. No more sorcerers, and then nothing else ever came of that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really matter.
So that was funny. And then so he's in it. We have
Captain Marvel,
which is played by she was the mom.
She was in the first one. Oh, that's her?
I think that was the mom. I think it was like another variant.
I know. I was like, I've seen her in other stuff.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was supposed to be. I don't know if it was the same actress, but that's who it was.
Okay. Well, I'd assume it would be.
Black Bolt. He's like a guy who has the power. A whisper can like obliterate anything. Cool. I was like, all right.
Captain Carter? Captain Britain?
Which was in Captain Carter. What If? Yeah. Which is cool. I was like, cool. They did. I knew they were because it was in the trailer that I didn't watch, but I read the comments.
I didn't know it was in the trailer.
Yeah, they put it in a trailer. They revealed a whole bunch of the stuff that they probably shouldn't have in these trailers.
Then we get Mr. Fantastic,
played by John Krasinski,
which
he was okay.
Cool visually, I get it. I cannot take him seriously.
Yeah,
ever since I know it sucks. He's typecasted The Office, but like his voice is so not serious. I don't know. It's like your powers, Doctor. I don't know. It's just I can't take him seriously. I can't. Your power, Doctor. I don't know.
But yeah, he teleports in too, so it was like a big reveal. The smartest man in the universe.
Yeah.
Reed Richards. You're like, oh man, that was the only moment the whole audience was like, whoa.
Yeah, we cheered for a sec. Yeah. And then perhaps we should tell him the truth. We get Charles Xavier in like a weird.
That's the '90s cartoon.
Yeah, wheelchair
outfit and wheelchair.
That was hilarious. It's just such a funny looking thing.
I loved it.
And then they're like, Doctor Strange, you're the real threat to all the multiverses.
Yeah, they were like, we're not worried about this little witch.
They're very, very arrogant and confident.
Yeah.
It was overconfident. It was insane.
Well, and I think what I saw somebody else was saying was that basically their version of the Scarlet Witch or whatever, she didn't have vision because Ultron was never created there. Reed Richards made Ultron,
Right.
not Tony Stark. So
Right.
Reed Richards did it right.
Yeah.
And it didn't rebel. They didn't have all that stuff. So they never had vision. So they never really had issues with her. They didn't get to see her become.
Yeah, which makes you wonder how Scarlet Witch got her powers in there. If they, I'm assuming they were using Infinity Stone there too, because Thanos shows up and they.
All I'm gonna say is,
him.
if the X-Men are canon in that universe, it probably could be Magneto.
Oh yeah, that's true. It could just literally be actual powers instead of from the Infinity Stone. Yep. There's like stuff in the movie where it's like in that universe it's like, all right, well, Black Bolt should have been able to just annihilate Thanos to begin with, because he's super powerful. But whatever. We don't have to worry about it that much, but...
they beat him. They stabbed him straight through the chest with his own sword.
Yeah, but it was like, they still had to use the book of... I don't know.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, I guess, was trying to find other answers to how to beat him.
Yeah, and then he was still right, though. He still had to find the book, and they still had to use it. He was right in that sense. And he was doing the dream walking, where you go into different multiverses, causing an incursion. Bad.
That sounds like a weird name to call
incursion.
It.
Why don't you call it convergence?
Convergence.
that's from something else.
It makes way more sense. There's plenty of.
I think that might be a DC comic. That's probably why they couldn't say it. Convergence.
I don't know. DC can say Iron Man.
That's true.
Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, and Marvel can say Superman. They said that in Eternals. But then they had to kill that Doctor Strange from that universe because he was still a threat, because he was technically corrupted.
That was weird that they did that.
It made sense, and he
thought
they needed to.
Him.
He thought so too, though.
I guess their version is like, "Hey, you messed up. We're just gonna."
Yeah, I mean, he was like, "All right, I need to die," or whatever.
And do you think they were actually telling the truth, though?
I don't know.
That's the thing. It's like, we see their version of events. I wonder if that actually happened or not.
I feel like it did,
because they've already been saying that.
Xavier was like, he was trusting that Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So if he was trusting him, why would he lie to him at that point? Type of deal.
It was very weird how he just immediately started like trusting me. He's like, you're going to escape.
And he read his mind, I think.
Yeah, it was funny because you don't even get the whole thing of him reading his mind.
No, yeah.
It was fun.
Then Scarlet Witch shows up.
And this is my hands down favorite part of the whole movie. It
was cool. I understand why people are a little upset because
she just solos all of them.
Which you can say in that universe they're weaker. Whatever, that's fine.
Sure. Yeah. Or just that she's that powerful.
I guess. But like,
when she can like,
Black Bolt is immune to his own powers. That shouldn't be able to kill him, is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
I mean, that's in that universe that might not be true. I get it.
That's the whole thing when you get multiverse. Like, maybe in this universe.
That logic. That's fine.
I don't even know why it happened, because like, did he try saying something with his mouth?
Yeah, he inhaled technically, so I guess that counts.
Okay.
Because he started type of deal.
And then his mouth is gone. We get like a whole Matrix thing.
That crap was gross.
And then his head explodes. Implodes.
It was gross. And then Reed Richards just gets like paper mache so fast.
Yeah, he like does the stretchy thing and it's
like, what are you planning? Why do you teleport away?
I thought it was great because then he just like, boop,
his head pops. Yeah, they nerfed people. It seems like Captain Marvel. Why did her getting her helmet taken off take away her powers? Right?
Did it?
Yeah, she was unpowered when the thing fell on her.
I don't know.
It was just showing her like that because like it had her helmet headpiece chipping away, and then she was no longer outlined in her
no
power.
Longer protected. I thought
that's what I'm saying, but like it's her powers.
And then Captain Carter getting cut in half by her shield.
People have been waiting for that one, so that was nice. That was fun.
Well, for her to get cut in half.
People to get cut in half by the shield.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was like, whoa, this is a specific audience wanting to see Peggy Carter get cut in half by Captain America's
Who else
shield.
was there? Was that it? Captain Marvel gets crushed by the statue.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Xavier.
Oh yeah, his neck gets snapped. That was interesting.
Like mentally.
They do they had a mental battle.
Which, okay, sure, whatever. He's weaker in this universe. He's supposed to be like the strongest telepath ever. Yeah. So that doesn't make sense. He should be. Yes.
Because I thought Jean Grey was stronger than him.
You might have a point.
I just feel like he was like a more experienced one, but I don't think he was the strongest. Just from my limited knowledge of the movies and a little bit of the TV show.
You might have a point. But I'd say he's stronger than her in that regard. But
yeah, but I think she snuck up on him, kind of a thing.
I guess.
Like, because he was distracted trying to help
Yeah, but then he like stops and just kind of stands there.
And he kind of is like, and then
like, oh. Yeah, and then
that was interesting. I thought that was interesting.
That was pretty good. Then we go back to
because it was like it wasn't even her. It was like a zombie, like scary version of her.
Yeah, it was a weird version.
Yeah, and
that's
so
the Scarlet Witch.
The Scarlet Witch did it. Yeah, so it was like I thought it was interesting. And I love that they were inside the mind.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's fun.
It was cool. It looked good. It was good look.
And yeah, it was the whole thing, and then they run away, and all the Doctor Strange and them they kind of continue on their whole thing. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, all in all, it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more to say? Like I said, the story was a little weak.
Yeah, because it's pretty straightforward.
Like you said, as far as like being something like marketed as a Multiverse of Madness, there wasn't a whole lot of multiverse. It
wasn't that crazy.
It wasn't really madness. It was just more like, hey,
there's a bad guy chasing you.
Yeah, which I like that it was more of like a chase thing than like a, hey, we're going to prepare for a big battle type of thing.
Yeah.
Because they could not stand up again. Which I like that part. Because like, the whole army of all the sorcerers and everything. And then they just get wiped out.
Yeah.
I love that part when she's like, she's trying to get in our minds. And she's like,
run.
I love that. Because I love that part in the Age of Ultron too, when she was getting in all the Avengers' minds.
Yeah.
And like the cool camera work of her like popping up behind him. And like whispering in their ears and stuff.
Good visuals.
Great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good way to show her actually getting in their heads without being too weird about it.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And it shows you that how much of a threat she is. Like she was like, I don't think if she hadn't given up, they would have all died.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like with America having her powers though,
it would have helped.
She would have been able to evade her for longer until they found a different solution.
Yeah, maybe.
Like another book.
Sure, they could have gone to another universe and got the Book of Vishanti.
Yeah, Vishanti. That's it.
Yeah,
it would be possible, but like she was very.
I really kind of wanted to see what that was going to do for him because it's supposed to give them like the book. It's the opposite of the Dark World.
On the page there was a star, like right before it got burnt up.
Really?
That's all I saw.
That's something. Maybe it was just it gave America her power control.
That's true. What if he was like, oh, that's how we do it, and then he was like, it's America. Oh my gosh, with the hand shaking.
I like that too because they kind of like say the guy who sits down with him at the funeral.
Michael Stahlberg or whatever.
Yeah, the guy who got the with credit.
The goat.
So, you haven't heard he got credited pretty high on this movie.
And he's got a minute,
maybe a minute
of screen time.
And in the comics, his character is a bad guy, so you're like, wow, what's gonna happen with him? Nothing.
But and it's at the end of the he gets it before Elizabeth Olsen. Or whoever the other person is, like
I swear that was red herring that they're doing to throw everybody off.
Yeah, and it's got his
that's got to be it.
Double shot of his face up on the thing because that's what it is.
Insane.
It was hilarious.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Anyways, his whole thing was like, was there really only one way type of a thing? I wonder if there wasn't really.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't.
Doctor Strange was maybe arrogant enough that in his mind, there was only one way.
Yeah.
And so maybe he's doubting, like, okay, maybe there was more than one way. Which I think that maybe more, if that was what they were going for, it was more of a subtle thing in this movie
rather
than like a thing.
Oh, but you should have. Yeah.
I wonder if that could come back later.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
I like that part where like maybe that wasn't the only way to defeat Thanos because the other universes defeated Thanos in different ways.
Yeah. It's interesting, man.
I know. So, all in all, what would you rate the movie?
I think 7.5, 7.
Okay.
Around there.
I think I would do like a 6. Again, the story wasn't great. I really liked. I don't like horror movies, but this one like had enough like little jump scares and like kind of kept you on your edge, like okay, what's gonna happen type of a thing.
But it wasn't horror. Yeah.
Yeah, but it kept you wrapped in it.
Yeah.
The eyeball popping out, not a huge fan of that.
That was a little gross. Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah, it made the pop noise and everything. Ugh.
Which I think because it was so early in the movie, you are, this is what we're gonna see.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. They give us a good viewing
of what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I mean, Doctor Strange at the beginning gets stabbed through the chest by the tentacle monster.
That wasn't that bad though. People get stabbed through the chest all the time.
Yeah, that's true. They're usually fine.
That's not a big deal.
No.
I think that's about. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good moments. The biggest one was the Illuminati, and outside of that, I felt like it was just kind of a. We talked about this earlier. It's a very simple story for a very complex
like
storyline.
Precedent maybe.
Precedent.
Yeah.
Like I wish they had done something a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more in depth with the multiverse than just hey, we're running from this multiverse to this multiverse to this multiverse, and that's
it. Yeah.
And then the power of friendship.
Leaving the house.
I think that's about it.
It was good though. It was fine. Yeah. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think people who complain about it are insane.
Yeah, I think it went. I think it went a little farther away from what Marvel does, but not enough. Yeah. I think it could have gone a little bit more.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Honestly,
maybe not more horror, but more like not the standard.
Would you consider, how people complain about having big CGI fights at the end? I wouldn't consider that a big CGI fight. Would you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. I mean, technically there is CGI, but it's not like...
And it's a fight, but it wasn't like a, dark
giant,
monster.
We have to beat them to do it, because they don't beat her.
No,
she stops,
That's why I don't really count it as a fight, because it was more like a massacre.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
It was a struggle.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the Metroid Dread game. I don't know if you ever saw the commercial for that.
Nope.
So you're playing as Metroid, and you're not fighting anything. You're literally just running away from this monster that's chasing you the entire time.
Holy crap.
I haven't played the game, but I just know that like that's.
When did that come out?
A couple months ago.
Oh wow, very recent.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe it might be a little longer than that, but
okay.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Anything else you want to throw out to these guys? Andrew, if you're listening, we love you, buddy.
Andrew, buddy. Crap. I gotta think about it. I've been playing this it's like an arcade game on Steam. I think it's called Vampire Survivors. I was recommended it by the boys on Mostly Nitpicking Podcast.
Interesting.
It's fun. It's just like an arcade game. It's like it's a top down. You're in the middle. You can move around and like monsters come for you. Okay. You don't get to attack or anything. You just move and like it attacks like.
Oh, like Arturo.
Yeah, like Arturo. A lot like that.
Mobile app game.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It's fun. You can get permanent power ups and stuff, but you get power ups throughout the game too.
Well, cool.
And you just like try and survive as long as you can. It's really fun. I've just been kind of like playing that on the side while I'm like watching something or whatever. It's just very It's fun. You're like, I'm able to do better next time or stuff like that. It's really fun.
Cool.
Media. I watched. I watched Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh right,
That was pretty good. It was a good movie. It was obviously based off true events, so if you know anything about civil rights movement history stuff, you'll understand. You'll know how it ends, but it's kind of like the struggle with the Judas, if you will. It was Lakeith Stanfield. He's a really good actor.
Okay,
well, it's good. It's fun. What about you?
Well, I'm played Uncharted Lost Legacy recently.
Oh yeah.
I platinumed that just because I love them. I honestly want to play through all of them again.
They're so good.
I honestly, any other game right now does not really compare for me. So I want to do that. I don't know if I'll have the time commitment to do it. And then I'm watching Star Wars Rebels again.
Oh.
So I'm kind of just in like
the
a replay.
Better Star Wars animated show.
It's pretty good.
Andrew, it's better than Clone Wars. It is.
I'm just kind of in a replay mode right now. I'm just like, I want to just do things that I know I like. I don't really want to try something new right now.
You know what I wouldn't mind replaying? Spider-Man PS4.
That's a good one. I played a little bit of that
really good, man.
Last year.
It's a really good game. Did you ever finish? You finished it, right?
I finished it. I started replaying it, and I stopped playing it.
Platinumed that crap.
It's fun. That. Yeah. It's a good game. Like I said,
it's really good.
I'm like, I'm waiting for something really good to come out.
Yeah. I've been playing Elden Ring, just Dark Souls, but a little bit newer, more updated. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like Dark Souls games, don't play it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming out soon.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming
There's actually a few things coming out this month.
I still can't believe they didn't release it on May the 4th.
Yeah, it was a miss.
It was a Wednesday too, wasn't it?
It was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
Don't know why. They goofed that
Whatever,
one up.
guys.
I don't know what to say,
They call themselves Star Wars.
Maybe. Depends on who you ask.
True. That's true.
Oh, man. Well, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Helps get the podcast out to more people and videos and all that stuff.
Yeah. Tell your friends about it.
Tell your friends.
Tell everyone.
And we will see you guys next time.